here. Evek's not looking though.
And welcome in, everybody. Gonna have yet another Overwatch Tuesday on your hands. Gonna have a doubleheader of the varsity team this time. Gonna be in the NACE Starleague for both matches. Obviously, as I said, varsity team gonna be on the docket for today. Got Brandy and myself, Jobin, on the desk today. How are we feeling about everything?
I'm really excited. Overwatch 2 has been a great experience. I'm really excited to see exactly how far this game can go, considering we've waited so long for it.
Yeah, and I know last week we got a little taste of Overwatch 2, but it was almost over before it began. The Saints, I believe they won a best of 5 in 23 minutes flat, so do the math on that when the games didn't exactly last very long. We didn't really get to see that much, but I do believe Kiriko, the new hero, the new support hero, is now going to be actually unlocked and ranked. I believe at 2 p.m. today she actually did go live, so expecting to maybe see her in some capacity, especially, the way the Saints have been playing things the last couple weeks. We've seen they've been on an absolute tear, so it'd be really, really fun to see her at least try it out once or twice.
Yeah, and we're really excited to bring NACE Starleague for the Saints this week, considering what they want to do with NACE and what they're planning to do in the future after NACE. Would you like to introduce that?
Yeah, NACE, obviously everybody knows it's probably the biggest collegiate league outside of maybe like a C-Val or a C-Law where it's like Riot backed, or something like CRL where it's like backed by the company. NACE is going to be the biggest like general collegiate league. The players, ultimately, you play through the regular season, you try to get to the playoffs, and then you end up playing for, I believe it's $5,000 in like scholarships and prizing. So there's a lot on the line. You want to make sure you have a good record going into playoffs. You don't want to, get a seed, get a matchup that you're not really feeling at the end of the year. So a lot of teams, there's a lot on the line. They obviously want to come out and play their best. The Saints, we've seen so far, they have pretty much played their best with who they faced.
Yeah, considering they're now 2-0 in the league, and so is our opponent this week as well. They're both 2-0, which is quite. It's going to be interesting to see like who gets that one next to their two this week. Yeah, we are going to be playing against Mizzou Esports, like the Mizzou Tigers, for those that know the mascot, obviously. So as we just said, both teams going to be 2-0, and I believe we're going to see the order of at least the game modes is going to be, I believe, Control, Hybrid, Escort, Push, and then one more if it goes to the 5th game. I can't remember exactly, but which is Control again.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to get the maps in time. They do a coin flip to see map 1 right before the match starts, and then ultimately the loser is going to pick the map as things go on. But at least for Control to start things off, I believe it'll be like Eichenwald, Kings Row, and I can't think of the other map, but it's a pretty small pool. Maps that the Saints are very, very familiar with, but we did hear from Arjun earlier. We are going to have a little bit of a swap in the roster. Arjun is going to be not playing tonight. We're going to see Emran playing the support role. For those who might not be familiar, Emran actually played DPS, and I think we said last week on the broadcast, Emran is able to flex any single role, which pretty tough thing to do.
I believe he actually swapped last
mid-game,
week too. Yeah, he played tank and also support, I believe, last week.
Yeah, we're still going to see Emran playing in all 3 roles. I believe we are going to see Squeak playing the tank role for tonight. Not sure exactly. And good little note, shout out to Squeak. Currently, I believe ranked 47 for tank, I believe, on the NA servers for Overwatch 2. So we have a top 50 player in the house just next door right now in the tank. And for anyone that knows how important the raid boss tank is in this game, you need to have a very, very good tank to, kind of bolster that team and keep everyone in line. So shout out to him. I mean, getting top 50 this early, that's honestly, when the grinders are playing.
Well, especially because we're literally 3 weeks in now. Like, it's insane to be top 50 already.
Yeah, and we are still going to see, as far as heroes go, we talked about Kiriko earlier. Bastion and Torbjorn still can. Bastion, they can't figure out the ult spam, and Torbjorn, they still can't really quite get down the bugs with his cooldowns and everything like that. So that'll be at least as far as availability for the hero side of things. We did see the Saints. Obviously, we don't have the maps yet. 2 teams going to be 2-0. I don't think we have too much else to add as far as the beginning of the pre-show here, so we're probably going to throw it over to a very, very quick break, let the players get into lobby, let Mizzou join up with us, and then we'll have the Battle of the Undefeated just coming up after the break.
Up the agents a little bit from both of these sides. Kaya with the breach actually as well, so just some switch ups coming through. They're going to try and execute onto the side, but Scrubby finds the hat with the hat on.
Yeah, now all this pressure onto sight. Scrubby, though, had to switch guns. I think he ran out of Headhunter bullets there, and now it's Jello playing this close corner, 4 tapping coming through on the rotation. And all you got is C-dubs left here on the Killjoy, getting tapped down. 4 players down that mid area. Scrubby finding the pick over near Sewers, finds a second as well with that Bulldog. It's the right click on that Bulldog for the alternate fire. It's so good on the advanced rounds. Finds the 3rd. M's clearing him out and through the smoke.
A little bit of a mystery here. Once this plant comes down, start to close off this map a little bit more.
Now are you gonna see Hilton here? You missed the one tap, grenade gonna come out, but now Hilton has all the time in the world to swing you. Ems does it. Seriously low there.
Kayu has 13 health. I mean, this plant is so risky. Even at that, a little bit of damage to come through will mean doom, but the tremor's gonna come down. Actually, it's the grenade that misses just barely, so actually Kayu gonna stay alive, but still with 13 health, you gotta be so careful looking down. Sky all the way back. That paint shell doing so good to zone him out, and on top here, C-Dub's just taking so much through the smoke.
Yeah, tie flashes are gonna be good. C-Dub's jumping out of heaven, the whips!
What's happened there? This is Ems versus the world, but if anyone's gonna pull it out after the performances today, it's gonna be Ems.
Yeah, timeout putting in, so much effort. I think the timeout might have just helped the momentum to be stopped, but Ems not slowing down one bit. Look at these rotations, isolating these 1v1s so perfectly. The ultimate is ready. Showstopper finds the kill, and Hilton shuts down the 1v4. Not.
Maybe it can work for him this time around. Knives actually out for the Jet as well, but Ems already dealing so much damage. It's Scrubby picking up one, 4-tap and picking up another one. Jello finds Tie through the smoke. Now it's just so tough. 5v2 already. SNHU have no answers for St. Clair on this map.
First half on Ascent, so you gotta make something work here, Coffee. You gotta start putting in something for the team. The paint grenade just gonna go by as it actually finds Agrin. Kayu able to convert that into, even numbers here.
Even numbers, but still going to be tough as they try to take retake here. Actually, great paranoia coming down, 4-tap, and going to be able to collect another one as probably gets on the board. C-Dub's going to be able to turn one back around to Kayu, but 100 effective HP. You've got to be really careful, especially against these demons that they're playing so aggressively, trying to find as much space as possible. Kayu with the bucky collects one as Ems with the paint shell able to collect another one, but it's evened out quickly. Kai and C-Dub's able to answer in kind. Jello looking for whatever they can, but that Stinger, it is not the same as a Spectre. Bodies falling to the floor. Jello picks up a 3K.
Jello, are you serious?
They're going to let Jello walk forward first. They're just going to say, this is how we're doing it. Oh my goodness, they're already spread. They find one on the tie. How could you do it like this? The Odin's just absolutely ripping through the health bars. Jello moving forward so aggressively. Finds one. They're just going up again. Knifes him down. Agrin, my goodness. He got ahead. Hilton's already popping down the GG. They're pulling out the knives. They're looking for whatever they can. 4-tap's got the moves. I don't know if it's enough. Knifing them down. It's going to be down to the end. Time around. So switching up the agents a little bit for both of these sides. Giving Kayu in the breach actually as well. So just some switch ups coming through. They're going to try and execute onto the side, but Scrubby finds the hat with the hat on.
Yeah, now all this pressure onto sight. Scrubby, though, had to switch guns. I think he ran out of Headhunter bullets there, and now it's Jello playing this close corner, 4-tapping, coming through on the rotation. And all you got is C-Dubs left here on the Killjoy, getting tapped down. 4 players down that mid area. Scrubby finding the pick over near Sewers, finds a second as well with that Bulldog. It's the right click on that Bulldog or the alternate fire. It's so good on the advanced rounds. Finds the third. Ems clearing him out and through the smoke.
A little bit of a mystery here. Once this plant comes down, it'll start to close off this map a little bit more.
Yeah, are you going to see Hilton here? You missed the 1-tap, grenade going to come out, but now Hilton has all the time in the world to swing you. Ems does it. Seriously low there.
Kayu has 13 health. I mean, this plant is so risky. Even at that, a little bit of damage to come through will mean doom, but the tremor's going to come down. Actually, it's the grenade that misses just barely, so actually Kayu going to stay alive, but still with 13 health, you got to be so careful looking down. Sky all the way back. That paint shell doing so good to zone him out, and on top here, C-Dub's just taking so much through the smoke.
Yeah, tie flashes are going to be good. C-Dub's jumping out of heaven, the whips!
What's happened there? This is Ems versus the world, but if anyone's going to pull it out after the performances today, it's going to be Ems.
Yeah, timeout putting in, so much effort. I think the timeout might have just helped the momentum to be stopped, but Ems not slowing down one bit. Look at these rotations, isolating these 1v1s so perfectly. The ultimate is ready. Showstopper finds the kill, and Hilton shuts down the 1v4. Not.
Maybe it can work for him this time around. Knives actually out for the Jet as well, but Ems already dealing so much damage. It's Scrubby picking up one, 4-tap and picking up another one. Jello finds Ty through the smoke. Now it's just so tough. 5v2 already. SNHU have no answers for St. Clair on this map.
First half on Ascent, so you got to make something work here, Coffee. You got to start putting in something for the team. The paint grenade just gonna...
And underway with match 1 in just 25 seconds here. Both teams just loading in, getting that hero choice going. Going to be Mizzou Esports taking on St. Clair College Varsity. As I said earlier, we are going to see the lineup of Squeak, G-Scales on the DPS. You've seen him before. We love him. Crime, Emerald, and Red X going to round out the rest of the squad. As we mentioned earlier as well, Squeak, top 50 on tank currently in, I believe it's the NA, because I think it goes by region. So the Saints, they're feeling really good about this game, but when you have two teams that are trying to, you know, break that undefeated streak, anything could go down here.
Yeah. And we're going to be on Lijiang Tower for first match with, this one is actually, this specific version of Lijiang is kind of difficult to get to the point, I feel, and we are seeing Kiriko right away.
I think Kiriko can actually be so good on Lijiang because you can teleport, I believe, from the spawn side into the point if you have someone on there. So I think Kiriko could definitely make some waves in this game mode, especially on this map. And we're going to see the Monkey coming through for Squeak, a little Winston action. G-Scales going to be on the Sojourn, Crime on the Genji, Emerald on the Ana. So honestly, 5 extremely strong heroes, especially Winston on this map. The mobility, diving that backline, causing chaos is extremely, extremely effective. So now we are finally underway, and we'll see how things shake out.
And I'm excited to see a Genji and the Sombra for the other side, considering they're getting a little bit of nerfs during this patch.
Yep. Yeah, next patch, yeah, Sombra and Genji going to get touched up a little bit. We're going to see a couple changes as now Overwatch is finally underway. The servers finally work, so now we can actually worry about game balancing and things of that nature. So both teams so far, though, a lot of back and forth. I don't think we've seen an elim yet, so the supports putting in work right now, keeping those tanks alive. And the Saints look like they are going to gain a little bit of progress on the point. They look like they might actually have the zoned out here, but Anarchy going to try to find the kill on the Ana, and is going to be first blood for Squeak.
Yeah, and Kiriko really is putting in a lot of work. Ana also putting in a lot of work, keeping our tank alive, but also keeping the Genji alive, who has been going very far in, but getting those kills and getting, or not kills, but getting that damage on.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing. You want Genji to get in and get out without a trouble. Having somebody, usually it's hard for a support to follow Genji. Now having somebody like Kiriko, she can keep up with him. She's able to run up on walls. You have the teleport, the cleanse you can throw from distance. So she kind of has the perfect kit to kind of, you know, backpack Genji without having to play the, you know, that cringe Mercy comp. So the Saints right now, though, looking very, very strong. I don't think they've had a death yet, and they're already up to 30%.
Yeah, and we have 2 ultimates on up right now on both sides, one on each side. We have
oh, Crime.
Yeah, Dragon Blade going off with, I believe that was a nano boosted Dragon Blade there. Yeah,
nothing. The Nano Blade is a combo as old as time in Overwatch, and it will never get, even with all the Genji nerfs, it will never get less effective. Just being able to spam that blade, dash all over the map, and take out the entire team with, like you said, only 2 ultimates being required. They are going to, Taco V Heaven is going to have the window online. They are going to have the gravity flux as well for the side of Clairvoyant. So Mizzou has a couple chances to make some plays. Primal Rage is going to get popped by Squeak, swinging wildly, trying to find any way to knock them off the map. I believe the Zarya ult came through. Kitsune Rush is going to come through for Red X as well. So the Saints, they're going to try to put some pressure on, but they are going to get wiped out in the process.
Yeah, we see three players on the side of Saints get wiped out there, and there goes the rest of the team for unofficial team kill.
Yeah, the staggered team kill, but great job by Mizzou to come back. Only had to burn 2 ultimates. They used the window, they used the gravity, but they're gonna have the blade, they're gonna have the EMP, and they're gonna have the beat drop online as well. So they could be in very good position in Cabby.
Yeah, but we do see Sojourn's ult up as well on the side of Saints. So it could go either way.
Yeah, we see Cabby doing somber things in that backline, trying to find those hacks. G-Scales trying to get some point progress here. They actually are going to be able to take the point, so despite that team fight happening in front of spawn, the Saints are able to get to that backside, start to take the point back, and now they're going to gain some progress once again, trying to get out of the spawn here, though. Squeak going to dive on here, try to find the kill, and the Genji actually is going to find it. Still trying to delay this point now. Kiriko, those throwing knives are absolutely nasty. Red X finds the kill, and really good back and forth so far, but the Saints, they have been gaining progress the entire time, so they're looking a little more favorable right now.
Yeah, and anytime we're on Zarya, we do see that she's keeping that high energy, keeping her damage really high, which is quite scary on Zarya, considering just how much damage she can do with her beam.
Yeah, everybody knows how dirty Zarya is and how dangerous she can be when she gets going. Crime gonna find the kill on Anarchy there. Now Genji is gonna be down. Squeak gonna get hacked, but nothing too big to deal with. Gonna pop the Primal Rage, try to get that Zarya off the map here. Red X is gonna find the kill. One support down. Zarya is gonna get booped off the map. Squeak, beautiful use of the Primal Rage. Emerin gonna find the kill onto Lucio as well, and the Saints barring this last minute contest. Beautiful headshot by Red X, and It'll be one more contested. They're going to keep trying to touch this point, but it is not looking good. They are very, very staggered, and it looks like the Saints will take this first point.
Going into a little bit of overtime, but it just wasn't enough for Mizo to get that to touch that point enough.
I will say, much closer game than we saw last week already. That was a lot more entertaining and a lot closer of a match. So already Mizzou definitely showing they got some stuff in the back pocket, but ultimately the Saints just did a really good job of, hey, we know we're fighting in front of spawn. Let's just go take the point. If they're going to C9 the point, we'll just go capture it. And then trying to retake the point is the hardest thing, especially on a map like Lijiang when you have a Winston primal raging all over the place, knocking people back left and right. And the Saints just able to edge that one out and start things off.
And we see swap from the Winston into the Zarya. It's now and we see a D.Va instead of
Zarya,
Zarya.
shocker.
Yeah. Not exactly that much of a shock.
Yeah, anyone that's played for more than 10 minutes knows that D.Va Zarya, two best tanks in the game. I'd say, it's pretty undisputed at the moment. Orisa has a really good spot. Reinhardt in certain control maps, certain push areas.
You could also sneak in Sigma.
Sigma as well.
As well.
Yeah, absolutely. Sigma has a great ultimate, great package overall. D.Va gonna go head first. Clairvoyant is gonna find the kill. So Mizzou, basically, we saw St. Clair do this last week to a team. Basically, shove them into the spawn and not look back. G-skills, the railgun is gonna go off there, but Mizzou, they are gonna take a little bit of pressure here on the Saints. They're gonna try to back them up into that spawn, and they should be able to take the point, I believe, as well.
But we do see a little bit of damage onto the Sombra, but it was immediately healed up. I believe by the Baptiste there. It's not looking great on the side of Saints, for considering Mizo already has the point captured.
Yeah, Saints got to try to find some way to get back in this point. They're Clairvoyant doing a really good job of kind of diving them out of that front door, knocking them back with the D.Va, or getting in that back line, kind of being a nuisance. Now Crime going to run in there, going to get hacked. Immortality, or the lamp, is going to get dropped there. Going to keep him alive for just a second. Squeak is going to D-Mech D.Va, or not D.Va. Going to get the utility down there. Window is going to go up. Red X is going to find that kill. The Saints, this should be their time to move. They're going to try to find a few picks. Clairvoyant is going to trade out Crime. Squeak going to find his second there. Hack is going to go through, and this is a extremely strong back and forth between both teams.
Yeah, we see the slow from Sojourn, hoping maybe it gets a little bit of damage. And we do see Saints almost captured, got the capture.
Yeah, great job by Squeak there. You just see how strong the Zarya is. Now the Saints, Nano Blade's going to be online. They're going to have the railgun, the juiced up railgun online for G-Skills and Squeak. Going to have that gravity as well. So a couple ultimates that can be comboed.
And also
actually, they're going to get all 5. Yeah, they're going to have all 5 for this fight. So they're going to try to maybe stagger 2 at a time to try to hold them back in the spawn here. And we've seen St. Clair, when they get a team back in the spawn, man, it can be a very long day.
Yeah, but this is a very open map, and this is probably my favorite Lijiang just because of how open and how easy it is to get onto point and sneak up behind and flank those points there.
Yeah, we did see the Nano Blade go through. Crime was able to find 1 kill there, so Saints gonna burn through 4 ultimates there. Red X is gonna find that kill onto Sombra though, so that's just how, the duality of Kiriko. You can teleport, heal your teammates, or you can turn into a mini Genji, just chuck those knives, get a couple headshots. You can melt supports on that backline. So such a strong character, has such a great place in the game right now as well. And Saints, they kind of feel like they got a little bit of momentum now. They kind of got Mizzou backtrapped in the spawn here, so they're going to try to hold this line of scrimmage as long as possible.
Yeah, and now it's back. It's a Zarya duo. And for anyone who doesn't know about Kiriko, she does have the strongest headshots in the game, even stronger than Widow's.
Yeah, Kiriko is interesting. That's what I said last week before she was in the game. So that's an interesting character. I don't know if I'd call it balanced, but she's in ranked now. She's in competitive, so we're gonna see her. We're gonna see the full power. Genji is gonna pop the blade. Crime is gonna get shut down there. Taco is gonna find that kill. Red X gonna TP to safety here, try to keep the DPS up. But Mizzou, great job to retake there, and they're gonna take this point off St. Clair.
Yeah, but St. Clair does have a little bit of a lead on the point percentage. Maybe Mizo can push past that percentage, but maybe St. Clair can get back that point and win this game.
Yeah, we did see Clairvoyant pop the ulti there, tried to tag down Squeak, did end up finding the kill on, I believe it was Red X there. Squeak, gonna find one, does get traded. Crime, little Genji on Genji action there, gonna knock him down, gonna see a bunch of trades back and forth. Lucio, gonna get that last kill. Now the Saints, still trying to get this point back from Mizzou, and Mizzou doing a very good job of just holding the line, forcing the Saints into these side room fights, and right now, they're going to be up to 80%, and the Saints are going to have to start diving onto this point.
Yeah, that was a very good sleep from Emran. Maybe it wasn't enough, but it was a really good sleep to get the Kiriko out of there.
Yeah, the Saints are going to have to go on and touch this point now. They actually try to backdoor the point. Squeak going to be the one to hold this line of scrimmage now. Going to try to back up Mizzou. Gravity is going to come through there. The Sojourn, the lamp is going to drop as well, so
And
tons of
there's the
util back
capture.
and forth. Yeah, Crime is going to find that kill. Red X going to try to get those throwing knives, try to keep Squeak going there as long as possible. Crime going to get a bunch of kills there. I believe he's going to find 4, so Crime can end up clearing out the side of Mizzou, and not a moment too soon. The Saints, they're going to be at 95%, and I'm not sure Mizzou's going to be able to touch.
Yeah, that was a very good push from Saints. Maybe they can touch with the Lucio, but it's just not gonna be likely for him to survive that.
Yeah, Lucio falls. Now Genji trying to be the last one, going to hold on to that deflect, try to stay alive as long as possible. Gravity is going to go through. Lamp falls down as well, but the Saints, they're finding these picks in Crime. Beautiful time to get the Dragon Blade, going to get the shutdown, and the Saints, they're going to take their second round in a row here.
Yeah, meaning that is the first
Yep.
game done. We hopefully will get the second game right away, but who knows?
Yeah, just beautiful job by the Saints. Are just, again, very, very strong back and forth to Mizzou.
Yeah.
Mizzou had them right in the clutches of death there right at the end, but the Saints able to string together a couple of those team fights. I really, really love the comp. I think Kiriko, you saw how much damage Red X can put out on top of the
Yeah.
healing, and we didn't even see too many like strong uses of the Suzu, which is like the cleanse. So basically one of her
Exactly.
abilities is the cleanse. Is, say you get like 4-man shattered by Reinhardt. If she cleanses,
Yeah.
everybody stands right back up. It basically like cleanses or purifies any of the ultis, any CC abilities. So
Yeah.
extremely strong hero. Really happy we got to see her here on map 1, but Saints, once again, back where business started, they're going to take that first map.
Yeah, I'm really excited we got to see Kiriko because honestly, she's just a really fun champion to watch.
Yep.
I feel, because it's like Genji where she can just go everywhere
Yeah.
and get anywhere. It's just really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And the Ana being able to long distance just really. I just really like the
Yeah.
synergy that they had for the Saints.
Yeah, and that's the one good thing that Overwatch 2 has done a lot better. They've done the supports feel like they have a lot more agency, so Red X is going to get a lot of value there. But we are going to go on. I think we're going to take a very, very quick break between map 1 and map 2. It will be King's Row, or as we like to call it, Saints Row on the other side. Saints lead 1-0.
Yeah.
Hello, Genji. Now having somebody like Kiriko, she can keep up with him. She's able to run up on walls. You have the teleport, the cleanse you can throw from distance. So she kind of has the perfect kit to kind of, backpack Genji without having to play the, that cringe mercy comp. So the Saints right now, though, looking very, very strong. I don't think they've had a death yet, and they're already up to 30%.
Yeah, and we have 2 ultimates on up right now on both sides, one on each side. We have
Oh, Crime.
Dragon Blade going on.
It will never get less effective. Just being able to spam that blade, dash all over the map, and take out the entire team with, like you said, only 2 ultimates being required. They are going to, Taco V Heaven is going to have the window online. They are going to have the gravity flux as well for the side of Clairvoyant. So Mizzou has a couple chances to make some plays. Primal Rage is going to get popped by Squeak, swinging wildly, trying to find any way to knock them off the map. I believe the Zariel came through. Kitsune Rush is going to come through for Red X as well. So the Saints, they're going to try to put some pressure on, but they are going to get wiped out in the process.
Yeah, we see 3.
How dirty Zari is and how dangerous she can be when she gets going. And very quick break, we are back for map 2, going to be King's Row, or as I said before the break, Saints Row affectionately. They've played extremely well historically on this map the last couple of years, but now we'll have to see how they play against Mizzou. Saints did take a 1-0 game over Lee Jiang Tower, and it was honestly the closest game I think we've seen in 3 or 4 weeks from them.
Yeah, we see Baptiste instead of Ana here.
Well, we're actually seeing the menu, so something something might have gone wrong, obviously, there. Yeah, so someone, some settings were messed up, or someone, kicked out of the lobby, whatever the issue is. So, we got through the servers for one time, but the lobby eventually, fell down on us there. So, I have to wait a second to get back in the lobby. But we can do, let's do a quick round of predictions. After seeing what we saw in map 1, what do you think we see in map 2 or in King's Row?
I'm hoping some more Kiriko gameplay.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that, especially with how vertical this map is,
Yep.
Diva would be good too. Just anyone who can really get high places,
Yep.
Genji, Kiriko. I'm hoping that with those characters that Saints could possibly get this into a 2-0 right away.
Yeah, we'll probably see the Widowmaker off the spawn. There's a lot of long angles you can play out there. There's a lot of things you can do, and that's the beauty of King's Row, is that because it's that hybrid, you're going to start off trying to take the first point, then you have to escort the cart through the entire way, and a lot of times you might see, especially you're going to see like a dive comp or like a brawl comp kind of on King's Row. You might see possibly a Reinhardt get played out. I think we're guaranteed going to see a Zarya. I think we saw a sneak peek. There was 2 Zaryas, so Zarya very, very cracked on King's Row. There's so many of those tight corridors with the gravity just gives you like infinite value, and then of course having 2 bubbles is, borderline game breaking.
And Diva's also pretty good
Yep.
because of how, again, vertical the map is. And there's a lot of areas where you can flank really easily, and Diva's probably probably the best one at that, honestly. Genji again, but honestly, I'm hoping we see some Widows, like you said, because Widow, she can really benefit from how long a lot of the corridors are, especially when you're pushing to that, not the first point, but pushing the payload to the second point.
Yeah, maybe see like a Widow or something like an Ashe, even though she's maybe not the super strongest hero, but, you know, see something like that, a little bit of variety. But we saw the Saints very, very comfortable, like you said, on the Genji, the Diva. As annoying as a backliner as it gets, you're able to play the verticality, but unluckily, Blizzard is going to catch us. Actually, maybe we are going to go into game. I was just going to say, I was going to pump fake it, little caster's curse, but I believe, barring any other issues now, we should be loading into King's Row in just a second here. So, looks like the players are going to finally get in here. So, we'll cross our fingers. We'll say a quick little prayer and hopefully get back into game here in just a second. And we'll have to see what kind of heroes we are going to see pulled out here for this first little area.
Yeah, we did see a sneak peek, but we don't know if they're going to stick with the same or go completely wild and do something different.
Yeah, I think we're going to definitely see some Zarya. Probably going to see some Sojourn from St. Clair. I know G-Skills loves a Sojourn, and I mean, hey, I'm playing a lot of DPS too, and Sojourn is a character, and by that I mean a very, very fun one. That very, very nasty. We've seen Crime make lots of sick plays on the Widow, so as I said, you're going to see the Widow to start things off. Red X.
Although she, the Widow did honestly quickly go for an Echo, but like you were saying,
a little
Red
flash,
X,
we are going to see the Ashe.
Yeah.
So, I was going to say Sojourn is kind of weird because the left click regular gun isn't going to give you that much value out of spawn, but if you get that, all it takes is like 6 bullets to get the railgun charge, and once you get that charge, you can one-hit supports from pretty much in the spawn there, but we are going to see a whole lot of swapping around. We're going to see Red X locking in that Kiriko though, and I think we're going to see Red X probably play the Kiriko most of the day, you know, now that she's free out of jail. Very, very fun character. I think she fits in with a lot of different comps pretty well, and as we said, Ashe and Sojourn, and a couple of Zaryas to boot there for both sides, and now we'll see how it breaks out.
Like you said, Kiriko really fits into any comp. She can be that off healer, main healer, because she does have a little bit of healing, but not the most, so she mainly fits into that off healer role.
They're going to see Crime. Lots of huge damage. G-Skills going to get the Dynamite kill, and Lucio being gone is going to spell pretty good for the Saints. Now Genji gone as well. The Saints, they are absolutely rolling Mizzou right now at this point, and honestly, barring some kind of crazy disaster, they're going to take this point within the first 30 seconds.
Yeah. And you could technically count this as a double sniper with Sojourn's long railgun.
Sojourn is it's a half and half. That's how.
Exactly.
Sojourn.
Because like technically she's a little bit like Ashe, a little bit like Soldier.
But she has the AoE damage and slow, so you can see how she could be pretty strong in a lot of compositions here. We are going to see Squeak in a Zarya fight with Clairvoyant here. G-Scales doing a lot of work on this Ashe so far, and Crime doing such a good job on this Sojourn to kick things off for the Saints. We got that first little fight with Anarchy ticked down to 1 HP to the Saints. Gonna try to walk this one up here. We're gonna have Red X, just chucking those knives away. Crime is going to use that railgun efficiently and find that kill.
Yeah, and like you said, this was a 30-second cap, which is kind of insane with how quickly they were able to cap that point.
Yeah, and the good thing with Overwatch is the faster you take a point, that just gives you more time on the back end, and especially where the Saints are right now is actually where you have to push the escort payload at the very, very end of the mission. This is usually the hardest choke point to push in, but the Saints are figuring, all right, one person touch point, we're going to hold this line right here. We're going to get try to get this to like a 7-8 minute time boost by the time we walk up there, and like I said, this is usually where the last couple team fights happen, but the Saints, they've taken Liberty into their own hands, and they're forcing it right now.
And interestingly enough, I believe, it is the Ashe being the one who is pushing the point. Kind of odd to have your DPS pushing, but I guess with only one tank, you don't really have the second tank to push it for you. Yeah,
you can't afford to use your one tank, especially when Squeak is walking up, frontlining with this gravity, just keep him alive. The tanks now, like you said, having one tank, you have to play that tank in the front line. Unless you're running a Diva who's backlining and going vertical at the same time, you cannot afford to not run your tank in the front line. You have to be that damage, that raid boss, eat all that damage for your teammates. And the Saints, though, they have literally not stopped walking forward since it started. I don't even think they've dropped more than like 2 or 3 deaths this entire time.
No, and we did see a little bit of the Suzu action, but it's kind of just been a slaughter this game for Saints against Mizzou.
Yeah, the Saints are slowly, and as we can see, as I mentioned, where you start the last team fights, they're slowly but surely edging their way up even further back into the spawn here. Look at G-Scales just ticking away, and all the Saints, that's what we mentioned. Playing vertical seems to be the play for them right now. Sojourn, you have that massive slide jump. You can get anywhere in the map. Ashe, you can jump up on top of boxes as well.
Yeah.
You get a lot of mobility from a lot of these characters. You know, Baptiste can get pretty high in the air, so they're doing a great job getting those off angles, really catching Mizzou slacking, and as we see, they are not backing down under any circumstance.
Yeah, and like you said, the only person on their team that isn't vertical is Zarya, but she can cover the ground and do a damn good job at covering the ground.
Yeah, she does that. She does it pretty well. Doesn't really need a whole lot of help otherwise.
Yeah.
But look at G-Skills doing such good work on the Ashe. That's why I said I wasn't sure if we'd see the Ashe. I know she can be a little choosy in certain spots, but when you're running it like this right now, the Saints are feeling extremely good, and this payload is only mere meters away from being collected. So the Saints, I suspect it'll probably be a wait for a couple ultimates kind of move. Bob is going to come through for G-Scales. They're going to make the play now. Gravity is going to come through. Dragon Blade is going to come through as well for Anarchy, though, so a couple of trades go through. It's going to be a 3-for-2. Bob going to find one, so this could be a staggered spawn for both sides. We'll have to be curious to who finishes it. G-Skills up to a 10 streak, but the Saints, they're looking like they might win this round.
Yeah, with honestly not that much difficulty for their side. With G-Skills just continuously pushing that point, they couldn't even get out of the main area, the main final area for them.
Yeah, they were essentially spawn trapped the back 4 minutes of that game, and that's the problem now with Mizzou. They're going to have a lot of pressure because you have to match what the Saints did or better, and you can't really do it much better than the Saints. They only paused the payload right at that last payload spot there, and they maybe only took like 30-45 seconds off that payload time. So basically Mizzou gonna have to win the first or second team fight, take that objective, and not lose another fight the rest of the way. And even though it's doable, that is a very tall order.
Especially considering the Saints have almost 4 minutes. If this does go into a second round of pushing for both sides, Saints has a lot of time left versus what Mizo can potentially get here.
Yeah, Mizzou has they have their work cut out for them, as we like to say, and they're going to have to climb back here. Saints definitely going to have the advantage. They're going to keep that same comp, going to run the Ashe, the Sojourn, the BAP, the Kiriko, and the Zarya. It seemed to work out pretty well, so can't argue with those picks in the slightest there. You know, get that verticality, get that long tick damage with the Dynamite, with the Ashe rifle, and then just let Mizzou walk up at half HP and just try to finish the job with that Zarya. And they've pretty much been flawless, like you said, in doing so far.
Yeah, and considering they have 2 big AoE damages with Sojourn Slow and Ashe Dynamite.
Yeah, and that Sojourn Slow is it is nasty. We cannot say enough how disgusting it is. You basically slow down to a standstill regardless. There's not really a whole lot you can do about it there. And now Squeak gonna be shoving up in this front line, gonna be low HP, but gonna have that Kiriko in his back pocket, that BAP, making sure he stays up there, and Crime. That railgun is just so dirty, man. I can't, it's every time you see it in a game, it's the most frustrating thing when you think you have a really good play and just bang, shot down.
I know, especially because if that thing couldn't crit, it wouldn't be as dangerous, but because it can crit and get those almost insta one-shot kills, it's just over for anyone who gets hit by those crits.
And that's the thing with Overwatch 2 being 5v5 is that when it's 6v6, you can almost afford to have one player not be bad, but not necessarily be the strongest, and you can kind of play around it, especially having that second tank. It's basically just like shield break spam, but especially it's kind of like a game like League where because it's a 5v5 and there's less players, every player has to be that much more valuable, and you have like that much less room to make mistakes, so you can't really afford to be getting picked off by that railgun from long range. And we've seen Crime doing a number on the backside of Mizzou right now. I think he's taking out Genji, Lucio. I think he took out the support earlier as well. So the Saints, pretty much par for the course, what we've seen on King's Row so far on the defensive side.
But not to discount anyone else, because Squeak is doing quite a lot of damage as well. But just Crime is getting so many good long distance kills.
Oh yeah, the entire team right now is working in like perfect harmony. That's why you see when the death counter is usually as low as it is, that means everyone's doing their job. Emran and RedX doing a fantastic job on the support on the back end. Emran is going to fall there. Great job on the hack. RedX and G-Skills though, going to trade him out. Now Squeak is going to fall, so maybe a bright spot for Mizzou. Maybe they can find something, and Cabby going to get the fadeaway railgun headshot on G-Skills, and Mizzou, they are finally going to break through, and they're going to take this point and get the push going.
Yeah, but unless they are able to get all the way, it's not looking great for them, considering they took 2 minutes to get that tap.
Yeah, that's the only problem. They played extremely well as far as like the standards go, but considering how fast St. Clair won, it's going to be a little bit of a damper on the Spirits because now, look, I mean, you look, they have 4 minutes, and the Saints did it in 3:54, and that time bonus is about 65-70% of the way through.
Yeah.
So they're going to have their work cut out for them, and when you got someone like Red X playing this Kiriko, man, those throwing knives are just so strong in the Saints. We've seen how good they are at holding, and they have a lot of ultimates online as well.
Yeah, considering they died with a lot of percentage, coming back is just going to be so good for them, especially with Bob coming up soon. They'll have all 5 ultimates online.
Yeah, and the Saints pretty much, they didn't really want to waste any ultimates in that last fight. They're willing to concede the point. They're like, listen, they have to push us all the way back in under 4 minutes. We're going to try to stop them from getting that time bonus, so we feel like we're in the driver's seat. Sit back, try to absorb these ultimates. As you said, once Bob comes online, they are going to have all 5 in Red X. Just playing that vertical game, able to TP to either side. Kitsune Rush is going to get popped to the Saints. I suspect they're going to W key this, and they're going to look for some picks.
Yeah. Yeah, right now... Oh, there goes the Gravity Flux.
Crime going to find the kill, and Ashley is going to get the melee kill. And now, Crime once again just holding that, or Emran going to hold that W key, take out the Zarya. So tank and support down, at least for the time being. Not going to spell good news for Mizzou, and they are going to have to fall back. They do have it pretty much all 5 ultimates online, but the Saints are still going to have 3 of their own. So this fight could go either way in the end, and Mizzou, as we said, that time is not their friend.
Yeah, and although Saints have to walk a lot further, it's just not gonna look good considering they're like right in their spawn. You see a Dragon Blade on the side of Mizo.
Yeah, we saw the beat. I think we saw the Nano and the Dragon Blade, so a whole boatload of ultimates. We are going to see it end up being a 3-for-2 for the Saints, so ultimately, not going to be that bad of an exchange. Mizzou is going to find a few more picks there, so now they might actually have the advantage. You know, Bob hanging in for dear life on the point. They're trying to hold them back, but not going to be able to do so. And now Mizzou, they're still going to have the Railgun. They're going to have the Gravity Flux. The Saints are only going to have the window to put up. So Mizzou, if there's a little window for them to take some push, you know, try to really force this game, they have to do it in this next minute.
Yeah, but Saints literally having the window there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, window of opportunity. Yeah, window to close things out. So they will literally have the window ready, and we're gonna see. I know G-Skills and Crime are gonna try to get that damage. Gravity Flux is gonna go through. So Mizzou gonna invest a lot here. The window is gonna go up for the Saints, so they're gonna try to keep them back. And that Railgun plus the window, pretty much nothing you can do about it. We're gonna see a litany of Mizzou members fall here. The Saints just absolutely shoving them back, and that'll be 4 down, and Mizzou gonna have to stagger respawn now, and as we said, the clock is ticking.
Yeah, they only have 1:30 left to get to that second point. Or, well, first point for the payload, but second point in the overall game.
Yeah, second objective, first actual road stop there. Or pit stop to get that second time bonus, and Saints doing such a good job. Even though they lost that first fight, all these choke points on King's Row are so hard to topple over, and that's why what the Saints did was honestly so impressive, and I think why they decided to like dive the spawn of Mizzou, because even though it's risky and if you die you have to you have a very bad respawn, but if you win those first couple fights pushing that spawn, you're in fantastic position. Red X is going to use a Kitsune Rush. Prime and G-Scales DPS getting it done yet again. Kiriko going to get a couple of assists there as well. G-Scales getting 2. Squeak going to find 1. That's going to be a team kill for St. Clair, and 40 seconds left. Mizzou, they're going to have 1, maybe 2 cracks at this one, but not many ultimates to play with. It's not going to be looking good, and Squeak having that Gravity Flux is massive.
Yeah, but the good thing is Overwatch does have shorter respawn timers, so unlike a game like League, they can still have a few more pushes to maybe get that payload to the point.
That Gravity Flux was gargantuan from Squeak. We saw Kiriko landing the throwing knives, jumping, right-click for Crime with the ulti, and the Saints back-to-back team kills. Now only 10 seconds. Immortality Field outside of spawn. This is where the Saints have made their money the last couple weeks, is trapping enemies in the spawn, getting those slows in, and only 1 second. Nobody will be able to touch for Mizzou, and the Saints are going to easily take King's Row there.
Yeah, with their second win in a row.
Yeah, they did such a good job. Once again, just controlling the pace, controlling the engagements. And Mizzou, they had a couple nice moments there, but ultimately, it was Crime time. It was Red X. All the rest of the boys handled their job there. And we're going to see a quick little replay here. Look at massive Gravity Flux Sojourn. Just freeload to shoot at that crowd. Basically, infinite ways to get the damage done. And then nice little jumping right click to end things off there. The headshot the Ana and the Saints.
Yeah, that was
beautiful job.
That was a really good last play, too. That slow really secured them that win.
Yeah. So once again, we are going to throw it to a very, very quick break between maps. So get the players set up again. And the Saints, they're going to be going into map 3, trying to take control of this series and send Mizzou home.
Which is a...
Genji. Now having somebody like Kiriko, she can keep up with him. She's able to run up on walls. You have the teleport, the cleanse you can throw from distance. So she kind of has the perfect hit to kind of, backpack Genji without having to play, that cringe mercy comp. So the Saints right now, though, looking very, very strong. I don't think they've had a death yet, and they're already up to 30%.
Yeah, and we have 2 ultimates on up right now on both sides, 1 on each side. We have...
oh, crime.
Yeah. Dragon Blade going on.
It will never get less effective. Just being able to spam that blade, dash all over the map, and take out the entire team with, like you said, only 2 ultimates being required. They are going to, Taco V Heaven is going to have the window online. They are going to have the gravity flux as well for the side of Clairvoyant. So Mizzou has a couple chances to make some plays. Primal Rage is going to get popped by Squeak, swinging wildly, trying to find any way to knock them off the map. I believe the Zariel came through. Kitsune Rush is going to come through for Redex as well. So the Saints, they're going to try to put some pressure on, but they're going to get wiped out in the process.
Yeah, we see 3...
Oh, how dirty Zari is and how dangerous she can be when she gets going. Crime, going to find the kill on Anarchy there. Now Genji is going to be down. Squeak going to get hacked, but nothing too big to deal with. Going to pop the Primal Rage, try to get that Zarya off the map here. Redex is going to find the kill. 1 support down. Zarya is going to get booped off the map. Squeak, beautiful use of the Primal Rage. Emran going to find the kill onto Lucio as well. And the Saints, barring this last-minute contest, beautiful headshot by Redex. And it'll be one more contested. They're going to keep trying to touch this point, but it is not looking good. They are very, very staggered, and it looks like the Saints will take this first point. Hard for a support to follow Genji. Now having somebody like Kiriko, she can keep up with him. She's able to run up on walls. You have the teleport, the cleanse you can throw from distance. So she kind of has the perfect hit to kind of, backpack Genji without having to play, that cringe mercy comp. So the Saints right now, though, looking very, very strong. I don't think they've had a death yet, and they're already up to 30%.
Yeah, and we have 2 ultimates on up right now on both sides, 1 on each side. We have...
oh, crime.
Yeah. Dragon Blade going on.
It will never get less effective. Just being able to spam that blade, dash all over the map, and take out the entire team with, like you said, only 2 ultimates being required. They are going to, Taco V Heaven is going to have the window online. They are going to have the gravity flux as well for the side of Clairvoyant. So Mizzou has a couple chances to make some plays. Primal Rage is going to get popped by Squeak, swinging wildly, trying to find any way to knock them off the map. I believe the Zariel came through. Kitsune Rush is going to come through for Redex as well. So the Saints, they're going to try to put some pressure on, but they are going to get wiped out in the process.
Yeah, we see 3...
oh, how dirty Zari is and how dangerous she can be when she gets going. Crime, going to find the kill on Anarchy there. Now Genji is going to be down. Squeak going to get hacked, but nothing too big to deal with. Going to pop the Primal Rage, try to get that Zarya off the map here. Redex is going to find the kill. 1 support down. And now, map 3 underway. Saints holding a 2-0 lead over Mizzou Esports, trying to close this one out. Going to be on the attacking side to start off. Route 66 here. Going to see a little bit of a swap from Mizzou. Clairvoyant going to be over to the DPS, and Son of Gary going to step in on that tank role, playing that Winston. So otherwise, the roles will stay the same for the side of the Saints this one.
Yeah, we see double Winston this time, which is honestly a kind of interesting double tank to be going on both sides.
Yeah. Route 66, so this is kind of an odd map, especially if you just try to fight down the street with like a pretty basic like brawl comp. It can be very difficult because of how much verticality there is. So having the Winston, maybe having something like a Diva definitely can bring you, I think, a lot of value. So both teams going to go off that philosophy, and let's see a couple kills to trade things out. The Saints have, they've gotten some progress though to kick things off. They haven't had to back up yet.
Yeah, considering there's a lot of verticality, but also a lot of long range. I'm not surprised to see 1 sniper and then a 2nd sniper with the Ana.
It is so crazy to watch Kiriko 1v1 a Genji and do completely fine as a support. That is, it's a little bit unreal to watch, but G-Skills nonetheless. Going to find that kill into Ashley there, and the Saints picking up where they left off on King's Row. They have backed Mizzou way up already, trying to get them back into that spawn, and they have already taken this first point and got that first time bonus.
Yeah, we're already pushing into the 2nd area, which is a lot harder of an area, honestly. The first area is a little easier. It's quite difficult to not push past into the 2nd area, but this 2nd area is quite rough considering there's so much openness. Yeah,
and that's the story of a lot of Overwatch maps. The first area is usually not as bad to get into. Once you get to that 2nd, 3rd choke point with the time bonuses, things get a little bit sticky. We're going to see the Blade pop and with Primal Rage. Crime gonna find the kill. Crime actually gonna deflect the railgun shot back into Cabby, so I don't think I've seen that one too often in any of my games, but gonna find a new way to use that deflect. Emran gonna find the kill onto the Winston, so Saints mixing it up right now, getting it done a litany of different ways, and once again, still W keying this payload the entire time. The push does not stop with these boys.
Yeah, I every single time I see Winston, I always forget that he now has a secondary fire.
The right click, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see that secondary fire.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of a different. You're used to Winston having to, get in someone's face.
Yeah.
They give him a little more agency, at least with the range, especially considering, they kind of buffed all the tanks because only having one tank, you got to give him a little more agency, make him a little more raid bossy, like everyone's been memeing about the last couple weeks. So I love to see it. I like to see it. Winston is one of the most entertaining tanks to watch between the primal rage. Just so fun to watch Winston jump all over the place, try to backline, and here we are going to have a Winston on Winston fight. I think we're going to see possibly a nano there. Dragonblade is going to come through. The Saints once again racking up the kills.
Yeah, but unfortunately that Clairvoyant does fall, but is this going to be a team kill possibly?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
And man, that's got to hurt. You nano the monkey, and he just not able to quite get the value you want.
Yeah.
So, and the nano being down is going to be huge. So yeah, we're actually going to see the switch onto the BAF now. So realizing, okay, we had a good shot to try to nano Winston, make a play. Now it's not really going to work. They still have a couple ultimates online, but I mean, you look how far St. Clair's been pushing already. I mean, wow.
Yeah, considering they just finished, just went past 5 minutes, or lower than 5 minutes, but still, it's not looking great for Mizo again.
I'm curious to see. Crime is so good on this Genji state. The Genji's getting a slight nerf eventually, but hasn't happened yet, so we're still going to see him pretty much in every game. Ashley going to find the kill onto Crime there. Now Squeak just trying to play the back of this payload, trying to slowly keep the push going. Now Cabby is going to have the ultimate online, try to find some value there. Son of Gary going to land a couple right clicks. Saints have, kind of had to stop their push, but Squeak, look at Squeak in the back line. Does have the Primal Rage online now as well, so look for a couple plays to be made here in the next 20 seconds.
Yeah, we see quite a few ultimates on Mizo's side with a Primal Rage going off and getting... Nope, Squeak got the kill, not the other one. Two Winstons just really screws with your head a little.
Yeah, it's monkey madness between both sides, and they're both going primal against each other, but Squeak did get the better end of that. G-Scale's picking up a few kills there as well, so the Saints... They're borderline end up winning this round yet again. They're going to have to force Mizzou to make a pretty miraculous push. The beat drop is going to come through. We're going to see the Soldier and ult as well. So Mizzou pretty much putting all their eggs in the basket here. Cabby is going to find the kill. Dragonblade is going to find that kill though. And the Saints getting a little bit too aggressive there in the spawn. They're going to get a couple members to fall there. But they are still very, very close to ending this one off. And Mizzou just trying to hang on by a thread here to keep this game going.
Yeah, it's Saints, it does have that lead, but it's still possible that Mizo does just not let them push that a little bit further.
Oh yeah, anyone that's played a lot of Overwatch, you think you have the game sometimes when you get to this point with 3 minutes. I'll tell you what, man, you burn through maybe 2 waves of ultimates, things don't go your way, then there's a minute left and you really start to feel the heat. So even though they'll be definitely happy with this progress, even if they end up getting completely shut down, but you get this close, you want to finish the job. But as we said, this is when the going gets tough, and the Saints right now, Mizzou doing a great job to hold the line. Crime is going to get that blade back online already as they look to find a couple kills. Going to find one to start things off, not able to find the second, and he is going to get taken out. So Mizzou doing a fantastic job holding this line of scrimmage right now.
Yeah, I honestly think that D.Va switch was
massive.
The right play.
Yeah, I think the D.Va pick was honestly perfect. Yeah, we are going to see G-Skills onto the Tracer, so now the Saints, they know they can play in that spawn, playing that backline. As you said, look at that D.Va pick, taking out both supports after taking out Genji as well, so seems to be, the remedy. And D.Va, I mean, there's never a bad time for a D.Va.
Exactly, and especially because she has bomb up, so it is possible to get another amazing kill like she just did with just her guts.
Yeah, and outside of Squeak having that shield that can possibly absorb the D.Va bomb, they don't really have a counterplay to it. If it ends up in the middle, it is going to go off. All the Saints are going to get away in time. Squeak on the Primal Rage, trying to knock somebody up into the ceiling there, find that kill, and basically just being a nuisance in the backline. Tracer ult is going to be online. Crime, though, picking off 2 DPS, actually DPS and to support the Saints. This might be the play they were looking for. They have the nano, they have another ult, they have the Tracer bomb as well, so they're going to look to make this final push, and they're going to look for this win condition here real soon.
Yeah, and Primal Rage is almost up, so it could be a Primal Rage nano boost, but it's... Never mind.
they just want to get for the win right now. Yeah, I think they're honestly feeling really good if they can get this push. Only 3.14 meters, only pi meters left in this game. G-Scales is going to find that kill. Now down to 3, down to 1.5 meters. The Saints will get the final touch.
Yeah.
Mizzou, you can't really call it a C9 because they kind of got pushed off of it, but
Exactly.
ultimately it's a little bit of a C9 in the end, and the Saints,
Yeah.
they're going to take that one all day, you know? Mizzou, very, very tough fought there at the end of the
Yeah.
Saints, just that last little shove.
But they did get their time down a lot
Yes.
further
Yep.
than what we saw in the previous
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, Mizzou at least gave themselves a chance this time. Last time with 4 minutes, you're asking for some Overwatch League level stuff to push that
Yeah.
one back. This one at least is within reach.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on something that you did say during that with all the tanks getting the buff. Unfortunately, Doomfist did not, but
I mean, yeah.
yeah, just have to honestly always have to crap on Doomfist a little bit.
Yeah, Doomfist, you know, it's easy to forget about him because, I mean, it seems like the devs have kind of forgotten about him as well.
Yeah.
He's just in an awkward spot. Is he fun to play? Is he fun to watch? Absolutely. But when you look at somebody like Winston, D.Va, or Zarya, it's not even the same game between the two. So we saw the Saints pull out Doomfist last week in like response, but it was, you know, a little bit of a troll pick. Just kind of, you know, I'll call it limit testing instead of trolling. So
Yeah.
we'll see if they mix up the comp this time as well. We're going to see Son of Gary onto that D.Va now, so we saw how much value the D.Va did give them. Clairvoyant actually was popping off on that Widow as well, and G-Skill is going to be over on the Hanzo now, so just use those recon darts, maybe try to set up some info, and honestly, a really good pick for this starting area because Hanzo, you're shooting downward at a lot of enemies, you have the recon dart to scan people out, so very, very solid pick, I think, for at least his first area.
And we don't normally see a Hanzo, so I'm excited to see one in the game now because Hanzo is quite interesting character, honestly.
Yeah, and he takes a fair bit of skill to wield properly as well. We know the Saints, they're up for the build. They're ready to, they have a deep pool. We know G-Skills as well. I think we just heard from one of our members as well. He actually, along with Emran, is also going to play flex throughout the year as well. So having a bunch of players that, you know, can play these different roles, can fill in these different, having this deep hero pool, especially as new heroes get added and removed. It's very, very good time for the Saints, and now Mizzou, just once again, going to try to do a St. Clair on St. Clair and get this first push going, just not really making a ton of ground so far.
Yeah, because like I said, this first point, it is quite easy to get through, but it's not always impossible to get.
It's tricky, but not like completely undoable.
Yeah. Unlike, say, the second point, which is kind of more difficult.
And once again, Crime wreaking havoc in the spawn, going to be popping off on the Genji. Crime, Squeak, and G-Skills. Now this is where the Saints, they start to thrive. They start to get the enemies on that back foot. They start to make him, you know, hit that S key, get him going backward a little bit, and now they can start to play that payload, push it slowly back. Look at Crime, beautiful headshot on Clairvoyant, just instantly deleted, and the Saints, they're looking pretty good here to kick things off.
Yeah, they have quite a few ultimates almost online. Dragon Blade being popped right now because that was the first one that got online there.
Wow. He almost killed Baptiste in his spawn, even through the Immortality Lamp. The Saints, this is where they have lived, is the enemy spawn. This is the real estate they're paying for. They took out the lease for the year. They are not seeming to move, and Primal Rage is going to be online. And on this map, Primal Rage can give you a lot of value. You can, you know, knock enemies off the map if they go to that far side to try to swing. And look at Red X. Kiriko being a support, just holding the front line with your teammates, literally forcing Mizzou to stand there and wait in that diner. There's nothing they can currently do. They're going to have to try to find a pick or two because right now, they literally cannot walk.
Yeah, thankfully D.Va is able to get onto the point, and she does have bomb up, so it is possible to get a pick. No, unfortunately not a pick over there. But Primal Rage is back up again.
Yeah, the only problem with the D.Va Bomb is that if Winston's able to get that shield down and you don't burn down the shield instantly, which it's hard to kind of focus a shield when you're literally getting spawn trapped and harassed as bad as they are. So you can throw that Winston shield down, D.Va Bomb becomes immediately nullified. We are going to see a few picks though, Mizzou trying to work their way back in now. And as we said, even though they drained the Saints' clock on that back half, they are not really making up for it on the front half. They're going to have the beatdown, they're going to have the Widow ultimate, they're going to get the Sojourn as well, but they're going to have to make a lot of ground up.
Yeah, they are about halfway though, pushing to the first point. Hopefully they can get that first point so we can get a little bit of a longer game.
Yeah.
But
I know, we feel like almost spoiled in a way where, and the thing is, they got to this point before, the Saints just drove it all the way back almost to the spawn because it slowly starts to lose that progress, and Squeak, once again, going to be on that back line. Crime making it happen. The beatdown is going to get popped. Crime is going to find the kill, though. Beat gets popped, and 2 frags immediately coming through for the Saints. So not that it's wasted, but man, that beat is not looking like it got the best value. And just as we said a couple seconds ago, the Saints are going marching, and they are wiping out Mizzou where they stand.
Yeah, it's looking like a win again for Saints, considering they only have 30 seconds left.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Tracer Bomb is going to get the demon, or okay, try to get the take out the lamp for Baptiste there. Yeah. The Saints, they know it. They kind of smell victory here. They're feeling really good about this one. As you said, not really enough time for Mizzou to make anything of this. So more than likelihood, St. Clair is going to walk away with this one, besides, you know, a couple last-minute contests here and there.
Yeah, unless Diva can get to that point within those 5 seconds left, it's not looking great.
Yeah, she did try to use the bomb there. Is going to try to remech there as well, but kills are going to come through. Emotes are going to be, you know, a couple waves goodbye to Mizzou in the diner there. Maybe they can find something to eat, something to drink, because right now they cannot get to the payload. The Saints, once again, do some excellent spawn holding, and they will end up taking the series 3-0 in pretty convincing fashion, despite what we saw the first couple maps.
Yeah, putting Saints 3-0 and Mizzou, yeah. Yeah, Mizzou.
It's okay.
Yeah, apparently I just can't say it.
2 Z's and O and a U. It's
okay. Putting them at 2-1 now, unfortunately.
Yeah, so yeah, it was the battle of the undefeated St. Clair. They were feeling confident before the game. We saw the mix-up in the lineup. We saw Argenino step out. Emerin stepped in. G-Scales back to his regular role on the DPS. So every single member, just a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
About as clean of a game as you could have asked for. And the Saints looked like they just got better and better as the series went on.
Yeah, honestly, the first game, it was pretty even. But after that first game, they really just pushed and just dominated those last 2 games.
Yeah, and that's one really bright spot. They seem to have like learning on the fly. And honestly, we saw Red X really great job on that Kiriko. Yeah. I'm so happy he decided to play it, especially the entire series. I said it last week. I think all the players knew too. There's a reason she was quarantined and Sojourn and Junker Queen weren't. She still had a lot of stuff to figure out with that kit. Maybe still has a lot of stuff to figure out with that kit, but saw a ton of value there. When you're able to play the front line with your tank and one of your DPS and like literally basically not get moved the entire time, and then guess what? You get half health. Just TP back to whoever's the Ash or the Widow camping in the backside there. So phenomenal game plan by everybody today.
Yeah, I'm really glad we got to see the Kiriko.
Yeah.
But not only was she quarantined because of tweaking, but she was also brand new when the game came out. So a little understanding why she was quarantined, of course.
And before we throw this to we're going to have a second match later on. It might start a little bit earlier than 9 o'clock if both of the teams, they might agree to start earlier depending on the match finish. But if not, it is scheduled for 9. But before that, we can give you guys a little quick look at the schedule for the broadcast coming up this week and, see how things are going to shake out as far as what titles we're going to have, what times and stuff. So starting off tonight, obviously, we're going to play Drexel, I believe, University. That'll be the Overwatch match tonight. At 9 p.m., potentially earlier depending how things shake out tomorrow. League of Legends Varsity against York University. Thursday, another game of League of Legends against Campbellsville. We're going to see Rocket League against King's College, who I believe we played in one of the CRL qualifiers beforehand, so recognize them for sure. Rainbow Six Friday, going to be Academy against Purdue, and then we're going to have Rocket League CCA Open #1 on Saturday, and potentially Sunday as well, depending how they finish.
Yeah, depending on how that last game goes on Saturday.
Yeah, so we have a full week packed in for you guys. We thank you guys for tuning into at least this Overwatch match. Overwatch Tuesdays are not done quite yet, though. We're going to throw it to, it'll be a little bit of a longer break, but we'll catch you guys on the other side of it. Drexel University versus St. Clair. I believe it'd be another NACE game as well, so we'll see you guys after.
Really fits into any comp. She can be that off healer, main healer, because she does have a little bit of healing, but not the most, so she mainly fits into that off healer role.
They're going to see Crime. Lots of huge damage. G-Skills going to get the Dynamite kill, and Lucio being gone is going to spell pretty good for the Saints. Now Genji gone as well. The Saints, they are absolutely rolling Mizzou right now at this point, and honestly, barring some kind of crazy disaster, they're going to take this point within the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Now the Saints are feeling extremely good, and this payload is only mere meters away from being collected. So the Saints, I suspect it'll probably be a wait for a couple ultimates kind of move. Bob is going to come through for G-Scales. They're going to make the play now. Gravity is going to come through. Dragon Blade is going to come through as well for Anarchy, though, so a couple of trades go through. It's going to be a 3-for-2. Bob going to find one, so this could be a staggered spawn for both sides. We'll have to be curious to who finishes it. G-Skills up to a 10 streak with the Saints. They're looking like they might win this round.
Yeah, with honestly not that much difficulty.
As we said, that time is not their friend.
Yeah, and although Saints have to walk a lot further, it's just not gonna look good considering they're like right in their spawn. You see a Dragon Blade on the side of Mizo.
Yeah, we saw the beat. I think we saw the Nano and the Dragon Blade, so a whole boatload of ultimates. We are going to see it end up being a 3-for-2 for the Saints, so ultimately, not going to be that bad of an exchange. Mizzou is doing such a good job. Even though they lost that first fight, all these choke points on King's Row are so hard to topple over, and that's why what the Saints did was honestly so impressive, and I think why they decided to dive the spawn of Mizzou, because even though it's risky and if you die you have to you have a very bad respawn, but if you win those first couple fights pushing that spawn, you're in fantastic position. Red X is going to use a Kitsune Rush. Simon G-Scales DPS getting it done yet again. Kiriko going to get a couple of assists there as well. G-Scales getting two. Squeak going to find one. That's going to be a team kill for St. Clair, and
the first area is a little easier.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult to not push past into the second area, but this second area is quite rough considering there's so much openness.
Yeah, and that's the story of a lot of Overwatch maps. The first area is usually not as bad to get into. Once you get to that second, third choke point with the time bonuses, things get a little bit sticky. We're going to see the Blade Pop and the Primal Rage. Prime going to find the kill. Prime actually going to deflect the railgun shot back into Cabby, so I don't think I've seen that one too often before. They have the Nano, they have they have the Tracer Bomb as well, so they're going to look to make this final push, and they're going to look for this win condition here real soon.
Yeah, and Primal Rage is almost up, so it could be a Primal Rage Nano boost, but it's... never mind.
they just want to get for the win right now.
Yeah,
I think they're honestly feeling really good if they can get this push. Only 3.14 meters, only pi meters left in this game. D-Scales is going to find that kill. Now down to 3, down to 1.5 meters. The Saints will get the final.
Kiriko really fits into any comp.